多少年后，感觉像才发生过。记得你说的话，记得你的温柔。
I first met him in MMU Malacca when I first went in to study. After that, many years later, I think it was at X Church Missions Conference, First Priority Conference.
Somehow the MMU bunch was there, so we were like meeting a different one.
Suddenly I look at him, he looked at me, I was like, hey, you're from MMU.
Hey, I met you. I know that you are there when the first day when I came into MMU.
After that, we just sort of connected through emails and all that.
And as we talked more, then the interest grew slowly.
One fine day, Pastor Sandra asked me to go into her office. And I was like, okay. So I went in, sat down, and I was like, Sarah, I have something to tell you. Then I was like, yeah, what's that? And I was like, there's this guy that likes you.
So when I was praying, then a pastor asked me to wait, so I waited.
He gave me a lot of Skype messages. Every morning, show good morning with a sunny smile, and I was like, oh gosh.
I can't remember exactly how, but I know that we end up in pastor's house to start this pre-courtship. The pastor said, hey, I want to meet both of you. Let's come over and let's have a chat.
What happened was I began to dislike him because he mumbles a lot, got into a lot of accidents. I was like, this guy always get into trouble one.
There's one day, I can't remember exactly how, but either she said, I think we should end this or we should stop calling each other.
Actually, it's more of like me. I was like, cannot tahan already. So I just not gonna respond. So just left it as that.
So I was like, wow, that was short. There was I didn't know, and pastor wasn't around, they were away. So I couldn't have someone to talk to.
I remember seeing her in Kuan a few times, and he said, Pastor, she's still the one, she's still the one. I said, yeah, then you pursue her, pursue her.
He tried very hard, and he really had his whole heart into it, and he very much wanted to, make this work, but the door was closed. So I think it left him quite hurt.
But he will say good morning and she won't answer. When it was raining, he'll take the umbrella to take her to the car, but she said no need. And she'd rather walk in the rain.
Then after the 4th year, he said, God, I think enough is enough. I think time to move on. And then I think it was also the same time I was going to Botswana.
Went and probably got healed. Focused on the work, the ministry in Botswana.
And the pastor was the one who said that he really feels these two should get together.
And there was this week where I was driving around running errands for Little Legends, and I'm very good with numbers, and I realized that I saw his car registration number 7211, not his car but the number, 3 times a day for a week. So the first few days I was like, nah, I think so, it's just coincidence. But when it comes to 4th and the 5th time, 4th or the 5th day, I begin to realize that, okay, God, are you telling me something?
So I remember being in Brazil, where I just felt like that day in my hotel room I had to call him just to tell him, because it was burning and brewing in my heart that this was from the Lord.
The first time I ever got a call from him, it's like, whoa, pastor calling me. As the call went on, he basically told me that he called because that he asked me to reconsider Sarah. It's like, man, I told pastor, no, move on. 3 years ago, I think God has healed my heart.
But because the sense and what pastor sensed was so strong, I decided to invite Sarah to join me in my trip to Botswana.
So I went there, we did the conference, and then we did the service and all. Then that's when Pastor Sarah said, okay, you know what, you got to sit down and talk to Cheen.
It was quite a good conversation, and we actually managed to I finally get to hear from her why the pre-courtship was over.
I told him about the car registration number that I saw, and then he told me what he has heard from Pastor and God.
I felt there was just a door open up to be friends again. For me, it's like, even if there's nothing coming out, I don't have any feeling for her, I'm glad that we have another friend rather than have an enemy lah.
So I sat down with him and he was still not sure. Maybe he had closed his heart so much that, it was just a hardened heart lah. It was seriously a hardened heart.
I think for me it was basically God saying to me, I place around you people that love you and care for you. And it's not about matchmaking or anything, it's about really, I love you, I care for you, I want this to happen, and I just have people around you that love you. I told that to Pastor before I met her when I came back from Chinese New Year. I said, Pastor, I just want to share with you this. I have no feeling for her, but this is what God spoke to me. But before that, I said, I don't know what to tell her, I don't know what to talk to her, but there's this back of my head, this checklist of who, if this is the person that I am going to do life with, there's this certain criteria in my head that she must be willing to go where I'm going to go. If God calls me to do this, she must be willing to go, and different things.
And then after the conference, we finally had a time to sit down. So we drove around and we found this cafe, OIC Cafe.
We came here at actually 10 p.m. And I didn't know we actually spoke for 4 hours.
And then we realized that as we chat, God has already prepared a lot of things.
Because I have that mental checklist in my head, I ask questions based on those, what I want to know about her, how she feels and who she is.
When we had a chat, there was just that peace. However, what took me by surprise was at the end of it, he said that I didn't come back for a relationship.
And at the end of the conversation, without me realizing it, I found that everything on my checklist was checked.
I didn't come back for a relationship, but I think I saw sparks of what happened 7 years ago.
After the end of the conversation, 4 hours, I realized why I fell in love with her 7 years ago. And at that time, it's like, wow, I think, God, this is it. If I would propose, I would have proposed immediately. Because I know for sure that you are the one. I know that we are still have a lot of things to work out, but we're still going to work out for the rest of our life. There's no one else I'd rather be with.